This is the final part of the 3 stages of compression. So, what was the first stage? Diaphragm. Second stage, the bottleneck here at the throat and in the tongue arch. Now the third stage, what do you think that may be? Third stage of compression. Tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock. Right here. The air's got to come out some way, right? And it comes out through your lips, not your nose. It comes out here. So, we build up this tremendous amount of pressure in the diaphragm. Of course, that goes up to here. And the air doesn't come out of our head like a blowhole in a whale. So it's actually bent here, which would meet some resistance here. And then as your tongue arches, it meets even more resistance. Now we've really got an amazing amount of compression on this air. Just an amazing amount. This air is coming out very, very fast, very cool, very compressed. So the third and final stage of compression for air is the aperture. And don't let aperture scare you. It's just a fancy word for the opening, the little crack, little hole between your bottom and top lips. Bottom and top. That's it. Now, if we don't have much tension there, I'll make my lips nice and like that. And I go to blow. Let's say if I do everything else right. No tension now. It's all flimsy, right? You can see how this is quite important. This will destroy the good work that you've done on the first 2 stages of compression. So if you got those down, but this is weak, you know, like wet spaghetti noodles, just weak. You know, your lips are just, you can't hold them together. You've lost everything. You've lost everything that you've gained for. Now I'm being really extreme, right? So, you know, even a 5th grader has more strength than what I just demonstrated. I'm trying to make it a point by illustrating the hilarious. So what that implies is there has to be some tension, some rigidity here to keep the top and the bottom lips from blowing apart. You got to keep that. So no matter how much pressure that the lips here are under, they stay together and blow. And the reason that you usually will drop range, especially due to a lack of endurance, or not a lack of endurance, but your endurance, you just start to gas out. It happens to everybody. You know, you can even watch Maynard play, and you can see that at some point during some of his live concerts, he was gassing out, just wasn't able to get the notes. So when your lips are not able to hold the last and final stage of compression, just a flinch, just a micromillimeter of them blowing apart just a little bit wouldn't be enough for you to be able to probably even see you're going to drop a note or 2 notes or a minor third, just like that. Now, if your lips are really exhausted and you go even a little bit more, now if you were able to play a double G at the beginning of the gig and it's 1:45 in the morning, you might not just be able to play that anymore. Because the lips just cannot contain the pressure that's necessary in the compressed air to fire out that note. So the third and final stage of compression in this 3-part series is lip aperture compression, right at the very end before the air leaves your body. So that's very, very important. Now you might be thinking, well, what do I do to work on that? And here's where it gets a little bit ambiguous, because a good chunk of professional musicians, brass musicians, and teachers lump all this into embouchure. All of it. Lips, everything. Except, I don't. I know better. So, yes, your lips are connected to the muscles around your lips. But the reason I know it's different, not only from a plain experience, but also looking at a cadaver, a human body that was donated to science, a medical facility, usually at a university. And when they pull your skin off, which is another weird thing, this is not musical, it's weird. It's like we are all wearing a mask. And when you see them, it's just weird. It's just like all humans are wearing a mask. They can actually take your skin and they'll pull it all the way off, and then there's your skeleton. You got a skeleton like everybody else. It's just really weird. We're all got a mask on. That's what this is. You're seeing a mask over my skeleton. But when they do that and they start going through and making different dissections and different observations of the musculature, you don't have to be a medical student to look carefully at the muscles that are right here and how they connect through the face. But then you get to look at the lip muscles, and it doesn't even look like a muscle. It looks more like gristle. So what you're doing is when you look at this, you see the feather-like striations around, and then you see the lips. So what does that tell you? You don't need to be a pre-med student to figure this stuff out. The lips are made of a different tissue. There's a different thing going on there, a different contraction. They're a little bit more independent of the rest of this, but they are all still linked together. Your lips, obviously, there's not a separation between your lips and the corners and your chin, all this stuff. So for the people that lump it all into just embouchures, they're really making a grave mistake and a really grave disservice to their students, because there is a difference. And the way you can prove that there's a difference is you can actually target and work on the corners and the embouchure, and you can target and work on your aperture and the lip strength. In the final stage of this three-part series of compression, that is what you want to be focusing on. You want to be focusing on your lip strength. Lip strength is very simply your ability to keep your top lip and your bottom lip as close as you can. Now, of course, this is when you're going higher. Obviously, if you're playing low G below the staff, that's not an issue. But when you want to play higher, that compressed air has got to come out. It's going to be coming out so fast, it's with so much resistance having been built up, that it could blow your lips apart. If it blows your lips apart, you're not able to play high. So we work on a number of different techniques in my 16-week upper register course, but the one that's obvious that you already know about is simple lip buzzing. And then get some of these university professors that will sometimes passively or indirectly leave a comment. I know they're talking about me, and they're like, well, the thing about it is, when you lip buzz, it's not really like playing the horn. There's a different thing going on when you do this, and when you do this. Yeah, I know that. So when you play into the horn, we're not lip buzzing into the horn. Hello? I already know that. Lip buzzing is a tool. I've demonstrated some some cool things about buzzing. And keeping it going, that's more of a tool, more of a technique. It has nothing to do with what we really do on the horn. That's a whole different animal. So, but we have to do the lip buzzing to build up this gristle that's in our lips. Check out some of these autopsies and medical cadavers. You'll see I'm not lying. This is kind of a gristly type material, and this is the fine little feather-like muscles around. We have to do something to strengthen this up. And so lip buzzing works amazing for that. As you may have seen in a couple of my other videos, a lip buzzing is a poison. And you can watch that tutorial. I'm not going to go over that again, but simply said, there's kind of a fine art and science and method to lip buzzing. And it's just a little dab will do you. You do it too much, and now you get the opposite of what you wanted. Your lips are stiff, you've weakened them, and now you don't have range because they can't hold the air compressed coming into the mouthpiece. Which brings me up to another point I think was just slipping my head. Oh, the other reason for lip buzzing is responsivity. If your lips can't vibrate that fast in a buzz, see if that's a C. Yeah. Middle C. High C. Double C. Well, there's a certain responsivity in your lips to be able to vibrate so fast at that frequency. You can understand that you can understand, and you can even hear there's a lower vibration, there's a lower speed, there's a lower frequency. There, that should have been a double pedal C. Yes, it was. As opposed to double C. There is just a huge difference in what's going on with the lips. And so the lips do have to have this ultra hyper responsivity to the vibrations and the frequencies that you're trying to get on the horn. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, brass players and trumpet players. This is the final installment in the three-part series, compression, and how it might actually relate to your brass playing. You got to have all three parts down, and then after you get all three parts down, they got to be synced up just the right way. You can't go topsy-turvy. You know, they got to be, there's a certain method to the madness here. And if you'd like to learn about that process, you need to look down in the description. I usually leave a link that you can click on, and you can go to my site, trumpetsizzle.com. You can email me. You're going to have to get involved in a program like this to really take yourself to the next level. Otherwise, just hit and missing tips and tricks here on YouTube is not going to take you to that next level. You're going to get a little bit better, but you have to go through the process. You don't go through that process, then you're going to be spinning your wheels for however long that you don't mind spinning your wheels until you actually buckle down and go through that process. So I'm KURT Thompson. I'll see you in the next one. Hi, I'm KURT Thompson, and welcome to my channel. That's youtube.com/your brass instructor. Thanks for just watching the video that you did. Maybe it's the first one that you've watched, or maybe you've watched tons of my videos. In fact, as of June 2016, as a brass player and trumpet player, I have the most tutorials free on the planet. I have over 600 videos on my YouTube channel currently, all free. So again, thanks again for watching this video. I hope that you got something out of it. Sometimes I make a video just to make you laugh. A lot of times I make a video to educate you on something and maybe even help solve a problem. So I hope something like that occurred for you in this video. And while you're at it, again, subscribe, click on my website link, and go on to the next video. It's lovely out here. Have a great day.